ever. Video is out now.
Technology,
man.
Wow.
Jeez.
come on.
We did it. Yeah. Man, there's some people like all in the premiere. We need people to get back on.
No, that's
Over
fine.
here. We
Let
did
them
it.
watch
We
it.
released a song, guys. Can you even believe it?
Oh,
Woo,
my
Believe it? Hello,
yes.
Casey.
Ready for the
Faze,
next one.
Jada.
Hey, Jada.
Jada was there. There was a lot of good
I feel like
Jada
we should
shots.
sing every name that comes up.
All right, we're gonna sing every person that makes a comment. So
We've
okay.
got Faze Go what?
Next Drip. We got Christy.
Faze Go Next Trip. Christy.
We got Christy
and,
again. Laughing face. Yes, and we're back here.
Super stoked
Yeah,
about this project. Well, something that's really cool. We all get to lead worship all the time, but something cool about doing your own song different. We'll connect with a song that we hear. Like I'm thinking about the song "I See the Evidence of Your Goodness." That Josh Brolin song really hits home for me, and I can connect with that. But when it's something that we've written together that comes out of our own personal life experience, there's just something different in the sound. And like this song in particular, "The Giver," comes from one of our favorite scriptures, James 1:17, that says, "Every good and perfect gift comes from the Father above, in whom there is no shadow of turning," meaning God never changes. He's always good all the time. Jesus came and showed us exactly who God is, and that's kind of like the anthem of a lot of the songs on this record.
Let's just turn it up.
God loves you. Oh,
Read along.
see the little dot down there on the bottom, bud?
Yes, that's our actual sound. Why is it so quiet though?
Can y'all
They
hear
can
us?
barely hear
Yeah.
us.
Let me make sure.
Oh,
Let me check here.
Jermichael's gonna bust out.
Oh, that's why. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
now
Oh my goodness.
It's not. No, it's not.
Not
It's
yet.
not fixed yet. Edit.
This is my favorite. Jermichael's so fast.
Sorry,
on
guys.
this
I
here.
don't know where.
Newfangled
What's
computers.
happening?
I don't know where anything is. Going live is still. I'm just still not.
Hey,
good.
somebody let us know. Can you hear us at all, or is it just really low?
They can hear us some. It says it's way too quiet though, and I feel like I know what the problem is. If I could just see.
People get old.
If I just knew what to do, then live chat.
Is it trying to go through your interface, your Apollo over there?
Well, even if it, I don't even know. Like, where is this sound trying to come from right now? It's not from here.
Well, what if you went off of there?
Hello?
And just did it on this computer?
I am.
So haywire.
Hello? Is
Can you
is
hear
that
us
better? I don't know.
Well,
I
you
don't-
have to be pretty close to your.
It seems like. Oh, hang on. This is a thing that happens sometimes. 1 second.
We're just gonna stay on here, y'all. We ain't quitting.
There we go. Okay.
Y'all probably
I
don't
think-
know anything that was said.
Thanks for helping us out.
Really poor
Everyone's like
start.
relieved right now. The comments are like, we can hear y'all now. Yeah. So let's talk about arm wrestling. I'm just kidding. No, but
Maybe
there's
break this bad boy out on you.
there's something really special about, like, we know that God is, he's with us in the trial. He's with us, and no matter what we go through or what's happening. And I love songs that talk about that, but there's something, to us at least, there's something special about just declaring who God is, like in the middle of whatever you're going through, to be able to have the faith to declare, like, even though it's like I can't see like a lot of evidence of it, I'm going to declare that you're the giver, God, because we hear it say that, like, your faith is actually what will determine your reality. Like, what you're believing in, what you're meditating on, what your heart is focused on will actually affect the world that's around you. So instead of being on like the offense, like, I don't know when I'm going to, or on the defense, like, I don't know when I'm going to get through this, I'm just hoping that I'll be okay. But to go on the offense and be like, no matter what I'm going through, God, I believe the truth that you are the giver, that you have my back, that not only do you have my back, but you have a perfect plan for my life, that through all this, you're even taking the bad things that are happening, you're orchestrating something good out of it. I'm going to choose to believe that you're the giver, you're not the taker. And there's something that really powerful that happens whenever we do that. And I'm not just saying that like, it's just some empty phrase. Like, this is something that all of us in this room have seen happen time and time again,
Day, man.
like in our lives. And just even on a physical like note, whenever you program your mind for victory, you will start living different. You will start living like you're living on purpose. Like you're no longer a victim to everything that's happening, but you're actually able to be proactive and make a change in the world and be all that God's called you to be. And so that a lot of these songs on this record are kind of centered around declaring those truths about who God is. And I can't wait for y'all to hear the rest of them.
I think we're firing out the next one in 2 weeks.
Do we have the pre-save link?
Yes, the pre-save link is in the
description of the premiere video, right?
Description of the premiere
Yeah,
video.
make sure before you fully log off from this whole event tonight, make sure you go and pre-save the song.
Pre-saves really help us with like playlisting. If you don't know what that is, like Spotify is kind of like the mafia. they go on and look at the analytics of like how many people are interested in a song and that kind of thing to decide, should we promote this? Do people like this? So go to that pre-save link. You can pre-save it if you use it on use Spotify. You can pre-save if you use Apple Music. If you still buy stuff on iTunes, when you click that iTunes link, there'll be another little link on Apple Music that says available in iTunes Store. So please, please, please hop on and connect with us because this is just the beginning.
A lot of you guys have been wondering, about worship content. This is where it's at. New Sound is family. We're doing a whole lot of stuff. We got so much live worship content coming out for you guys to bless you guys and to so you can worship along at home. And so a lot of you follow me, follow my Spotify page, but not all of you guys follow the New Sound is family on Spotify. So that's an extension of me and all of us. So for those of you that have been like, maybe you see my Before You Go video and you're like, where's all the worship content? Head over to New Sound is family on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, here on YouTube. Subscribe to here because there's going to be a lot of amazing worship content to come out, collaborations with people that we love that are amazing and anointed and awesome and great and stuff. And so, I mean, if y'all...
we've got some cool Devo stuff we're going to do too. If that, like what John Michael's talking about, God being good and living in victory and all that, people are getting their rear end kicked by circumstances in life. And, God really made a way for us to walk in a place of victory. It's actually his will for you to have a great life and enjoy life. John 10:10, the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But he said, I've come that you might have life till it overflows, or life in abundance, one translation says. So we love talking about that stuff and just getting your faith and your expectation, your hope jacked up. And these songs and some of these devos we're going to do around the songs are going to champion all that stuff.
Yep. So does anyone have any questions or like now? If not, we're going to keep rambling about random stuff that's important to us.
I just got a text from Blaine Cruz. I don't know why he's texting. Maybe he doesn't know how to use a computer. I love you, Blaine. Blaine Cruz is an amazing, phenomenal drummer here in Fort Worth that played in a band called The Campaign years ago. He plays with Josh Weathers now. He's a super sweet dude. We love him.
Yeah.
If he was here right now, I'd just give him a big hug. Just hug him.
Thank you, FaZe. FaZe Goat X Drip says, no, I just want to say you're the best. Thank you.
That's really sweet.
That's so kind. How did y'all write the song? Well, Jeremiah, we write the song like any song's written. I'm just kidding. Jeremiah is like he's like helping us out right now. He's like, I know a question though.
Jeremiah, you're actually in the family. Actually, I don't know.
He was actually in that music video.
Yeah, he was.
He was in the music video as well. How do we write the song? A lot of these songs, he came up with like a hook for like a lot of the songs. So what were you thinking about whenever you came up with the hook for Giver?
I think I was running, and I get a lot of song ideas when I'm running, and so I stop and I'm out of breath, and I'm like, "You are the giver, you are the giver." We started there, and I think we had. I think we had the chorus, and then John Michael and I got together and finished out a bunch of these songs leading up to the recording of the album. And I want to say one thing I really appreciate about John Michael is he does not compromise on the lyric of the song, like he fights for it
No.
to be amazing. I don't know how many times we were like, oh yes, okay, we're done. This song is done.
It's a
That
wrap.
is awesome. You know, you have those moments like, high five, woo, we got this one. And then 30
He's
minutes
like,
later, he was like,
No.
I think
No.
there's something better.
Or-
I'm like,
Yeah, there was one song in
push for it.
Yeah, there's one song in particular that I was just, I mean, as a creative, it's like when you're releasing art at all, especially art that has to do with, helping people live a better life, and experience God. I mean, it's all really small things become very, very, very big, important, like details, for me. And that's kind of important with all songwriting. Like you need a songwrite, but then like at the end of the day, if it's something that's important to you, you should, take the time to make it as great as it possibly can be, Jeremiah says he's got to start running more.
Come running with me, Jeremiah.
Paula says, do you have live worship sets? So we're actually coming out with a lot of live worship music videos. We are planning on, having live sets where I know what you're talking about, where it's just like 20, 30 minutes of worship straight. We're definitely going to do that more in the future. We had kind of like the evolution of how we became the New Soundist family is, first of all, back in the day, my parents had a band called Go Deep, and over time, they traveled, they toured, they did all that, and
As did you guys.
Yeah, the homeschool tour in the back of the car. But they had a band for a long time, and over time that evolved into them using me and Sarah as we got older, and didn't suck at playing music and stuff. They were able to have us come like on the road with them some. And then kind of whenever we started doing that, there was another thing that we were starting with a friend called One Worship. And so we were doing like live content with them. And so kind of all that stuff kind of culminated into what we're doing now, like as the New Soundist family. So we do have some live worship content that's like super long form that we have made in the past, but it's kind of just a matter of we're doing New Soundist family stuff now. We're pretty much starting from scratch on this. So we've all done those things. Like I have live worship videos up on my channel. They have live worship stuff. We've done a bunch of that stuff, but right now it's just a lot of starting from scratch, making brand new content for the New Soundist family. So we have like 16 more songs just from this night that we recorded. We're already starting to think about our next recording, what we're going to do and stuff. So got a lot of awesome stuff coming for you guys. What you see is what you get on our YouTube channel right now, but there's a lot more coming. Do you guys love worship where there are people circled around you, or like worship where they're caught up? Okay, we love all of it. I mean, for this one, we were like, we wanted to do a circle because of what the New Soundist family means. We thought, doing a live worship record, this is really our first, like, for real, like, we're going for it record. The very first record we made, we loved making it, but it was kind of like, we just knew we needed to get something out there. So we made that record. We didn't make it like super quickly, but we did just kind of hustle to just take some songs we already had and put it out there. But now I'm distracted. I lost my train of thought.
Music starts. Can't
but-
think anymore.
Yes, this new record. I don't even know. Yes, he is literally the enemy of focus. Whenever
Because I can talk while I'm playing. I'm not.
I know. No, it's okay. But for this New Soundist family record, we thought like we're making a bold new statement, and that is that the new sound is family. So family looks like a circle. So that's how we chose to do
And let me
this.
comment on that. Like some people are like, what does that mean? The new sound is family. And really, you could say the new sound is identity, or the new sound is knowing who you are. And we're kind of all about letting everybody know, like, you are uniquely created by God. You are his child. You're accepted. There are no outsiders. You're all insiders. We all belong in his house. We're all his kids. And so it's like the new sound is living from that place of not having to get acceptance or validation from anywhere else other than knowing I'm God's child. He loves me and he's out for my best. And just throwing your life into to him and letting him make your dreams come true, because that's what he's all about.
Christy says, do y'all have moments where you're singing to God and the songs or words you're putting together are good? So, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of times whenever
100%
we're in I think there's something to be said about a spontaneous expression to God. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. It just has to be real, you know. So I mean, there is stuff that we'll just sing to God spontaneously that just sometimes happens to be good. Sometimes it's just kind of a little weird, but it's cool because it's real and it's in the moment, and it's something that you feel the Holy Spirit laying on your heart. So, you know, good is subjective in those cases, but
It's always awesome in the moment.
yeah, it's always awesome in the moment. Then you're like, well, what was I saying? Like, was I rapping or what was I doing?
My feet be huge if I put them up.
Oh, please don't show your feet. Some people are feet phobic.
I'm just gonna
Please be careful. Yeah, be careful with that. Let me help you out here. Let me scoot this up. I'm just kidding.
Give me a modesty clause.
I like how we can see so much in this camera angle, but it's the worst quality ever. Like,
it's like, how do you get this filter from like? Well, we're in John Michael's beat lab right now.
yes.
Where John Michael makes all his music, and it's the okay. It's
It's
the from the internet house. It's a pretty big house.
I'm actually-
My room?
I have a Cat 5 cable. I have a Cat 5 cable going all the way from our modem, like through the ceiling, like into my room, into my computer. But I have a feeling that it's disconnected from my computer because there's been some interesting moments here with the internet. Like Christy says, how long have y'all all been with Christ? Do you mind sharing your testimonies? Yes, I'll start since I'm the one talking, I guess. But my relationship with God started super young. I mean, obviously, my family is amazing. Not to sound cocky, but I do have an incredible family. And growing up with them as my parents, they just did a really good job about not making Christianity weird and making a relationship with God not weird, but something that's really amazing and benefits your life. And so I gave my life to Christ when I was super young. I mean, like 1,000 times, and you know, Sunday school, like a lot of people, you know, that I know, just making sure you're saved. But yeah, I gave my life to Christ super young, and I've kind of I've never had really a season where I what's it called whenever people, it's not called like dissecting,
Walk away
or yeah, but it's called what's it called when people like it's like when they get super intrinsic and analytical about their faith. It's like
questioning.
No, it's like deconstruction. Yeah, I never went through like a deconstruction process with my faith. Any deconstruction always happened in a healthy format, and I just found God at the end of all of it. So I've never really had like a season of like really pulling back or like walking away. So it's been a fun journey with God, and like I said, I had a really great parents to kind of guide me through all of that. So the answer is, I don't know how pretty much is whenever I could talk, I gave my life to Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Sarah, she's the next oldest, so.
Yeah, ditto.
Ditto.
Me and Michael are only like a year and a half apart, so we were raised about
Both
the
in the same boat.
Yeah.
Little man's breath.
Basically twins.
His coffee breath and little man's breath right now is a nuclear
Smells good to
concoction
me.
right now. It's
I
nuclear.
one thing I love about the church, you know, I actually know a lot of people who are kind of disappointed in the church, or maybe don't go to church and have disconnected over the course of time because they've been disappointed by people. But I got saved in church. I got saved at a Vacation Bible School at a Baptist church just down the road from our house. And, you know, I've thought many times how life would be different if that church wasn't having that Vacation Bible School. My parents got saved in church, and I really believe in the local church. All you pastors out there are my heroes. You're champions, because church, the organized like church, is a place where you can take someone or anybody can go, and it's just an opportunity for people to connect with God. And I really love and value that. That's I believe the church is and the church obviously is not just a building, but it's the people. We all make it up together. But yeah, I got saved at Vacation Bible School, as I'm sure millions and millions and millions of people did.
How old were you?
I think I was probably 5 or 6. And of course, you know, went through
Nice.
times of like, as I got
Young man,
older,
you know.
and understood more would rededicate my life to the Lord and that kind of thing. And I think that's a place you got to always stay in. Like, salvation, I believe, is once and for all when you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth. But then we should always stay in a place of like drawing closer to God and getting those I've been through dry times where I was like, I've had to like kind of rededicate myself back to the Lord. What's cool about God is like, you can never be in one of those places. It's not like he went anywhere. You just kind of like not turn towards him. And the second that we turn back towards God, he's just right there like, oh, I've been waiting for you to turn around.
Oh, man, stop licking me. He keeps just licking me. I keep like getting the sticky up.
I heard that dogs licking is like us petting them, like them licking is like therapeutic.
Right. Yeah, because there's like salt on our skin and that's how they get high, I guess. I'm just kidding. No.
That's how they
But
get high.
What about you, honey? What's your...
I was raised.
Are you saved even?
Yes. I'm the most saved.
She is the
out of
most
everybody.
saved.
If that's a thing. I was raised in a Christian home as well. And it was way less religious and way more relationship with the Lord. And so just growing up in that environment of it being very normal to not compartmentalize the Lord, but just to talk, at any point in time, you could just talk to him. And I received the Lord when I was
People need to revive Jeremiah.
3.
He died.
I know.
I asked the Lord to come into my heart, this very young. And then when I was a little bit older, maybe around 9 or so, I made what they call a public confession of faith in the church, where I went forward and, made it very public. And just always, I've always loved the Lord. I've always, in fact, my mom tells me a story about when I was young. I think I was really concerned that one day I was going to grow up and maybe not serve God. And so I don't know why, but I just wanted to always know that my heart was always like going to be going after him. And so we would have conversations, I would say, but what if I grow up one day and I don't want to serve Jesus anymore? And she would say, honey, somebody that has a heart like that already, you'll never
Is
walk
doomed.
away.
I'm just kidding.
Gosh, you'll never walk away
Yeah.
from the Lord. And it's been sweet. But like what Michael was saying, I mean, for me, I wouldn't call it, for me, I don't call it rededication. I call it just a continual surrendering. So you get to places in your life where you've surrendered, but then there's more to surrender, or maybe you've taken back a little piece or a little part of your life where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this myself and, kind of be in charge. So then it's just going back to the Lord with a humble heart and saying, you know what? Not my will, but your will. I'm going to lay this down. I want what you want. I'm not just submitting myself to you. I'm literally surrendering my will.
Yeah, I think like getting to a place of surrender is like, that's all about just having a relationship with God. Because like for some people that are wired like you growing up, it's like, oh, there's like, it's so easy to get in those postures where you're like, oh, I want to surrender myself like fully to you, God. Like I want to do this. Like, I don't want to like live like worldly or whatever it is. Like a lot of people, and a lot of, just speaking for my generation, Gen Z is in a lot of a crisis of like why do I need God? Because they haven't experienced life. They haven't lived long enough to like, see the effects of living worldly and how that affects your life. They haven't seen that yet. So a lot of them are wondering like, well, why do I even need God? Why do I like, what's the point of like surrendering? What's the point in all this? And the interesting thing is, growing up, it's like you're taught, right, that like you can learn two ways, by experience or by listening to other people. And so it's like if your dad tells you like, don't put your hand on that stove because it's going to burn your hand, you put your hand on it and it burns your hand. Then you learn by experience. And that's what's happening a lot with Gen Z right now. And something that part of what I'm trying to do is help a lot of like Gen Z people not have to go through all that. But it all starts with just like very simple. Like with my generation and younger than me, you just have to start really simple. It's just a matter of like, hey, Jesus is totally cool with who you are and he loves who you are, no matter what you've done. he just wants to be your friend. And it starts right there, you know, and then throughout that relationship, you get to a place in your relationship where it's like you want to surrender, you want to give more of your life to Christ. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
When you're
nobody's
connected to somebody,
doomed.
it's like when you get married, you know, you change the way that you live because your love for someone dictates that you do. Like, I don't live like I'm single. I live like I'm married because I love Sherry. And so same thing with God. Like, you just,
I live like I'm married too. I'm just
hey,
kidding.
well, and so, yeah,
I am single.
I like what you said. God is in love with you. He's not upset with you. He's not mad at you. And there may be somebody on right now that just feels like completely disconnected, and maybe like you've gone too far and you've messed up too many times with it. That's just an absolute lie, because we've all fallen short of the glory of God. We've all made mistakes. And I remember this story that a good friend of ours, Patrick Norris, he's a pastor in Kansas City, that he told me one time. This guy came up and he was just all like upset about how I was there when this happened. It was so great. It's after church, and and he came up to the altar and he was like, I'm so, I've done all this stuff and I just walked away from God, and I just, I want to come back to him. And he was saying it like, this is going to take some work. Like, I've messed up so bad. Like, I'm ready to come back to God. I want to give my heart back to him. And Patrick goes, well, and the guy was kind of like, what do I need to do? And Patrick was like, well, I think you just did.
Yeah.
Because it's not as hard as we make it.
It's so
like,
simple.
God's just like, all right, good deal. His forgiveness and his mercy is like everlasting to everlasting. There's no end to it.
It's so
There's
simple.
just no end to your mercy.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Y'all just gonna have to.
That's another tune that's coming up.
Yeah.
Get ready.
It's another one, and it's coming up.
Oh, hey, that one. I want to say
There's
something about
a,
the bridge of the giver. Are we still talking about the giver?
Yeah. Yes, we are.
I love this bridge that you wrote.
Oh.
You're
Are you
love,
gonna say something?
not a hater. You're the giver, not the taker. You're a lover, not a hater. You're the giver, not a taker.
Yeah, that was we like. Oh my gosh, Lil Man's barking again. Man, there's always got to be the one guy that's just got
Needs
to.
all the attention.
Oh my
What are you
god,
gonna say?
he's a small dog, but he makes up for it in his personality. He's very big.
It's like he's getting classification. What's he doing? Where is he?
He's probably trying to get to the other part of the house. I don't know.
Yeah,
What are we gonna say?
Probably
about
thinks
that?
we're in
What
there.
are we gonna say about that lyric, bud?
he's getting old. Well, I was gonna say we kind of debated a long time if we were gonna, or not really debated a long time, but saying you're a lover, not a hater, because we're like, is that cheesy or is it cool? Like, is that cheesy or is it cool? Like, just thinking, like, going back and forth. But we ended up like going with it because we're like, sometimes, well, yeah, it is true, but it's like a lot of times in songwriting, it's like really cool to put in an expression that everyone like knows about. Like, I'm a lover, not a hater. And I know it's like kind of like an old school like expression. But we thought it was kind of fun because, like, one, it's true. Two, it's an expression that everyone, talks about.
Hey.
And, and at the end of the day, we're like, maybe it's cheesy, maybe it's not, but like, it's all about delivery, right? It's like, if we just worship God with it and go for it and like,
I believe you when you say
yeah,
that.
yeah. You're a lover. You just got to put an extra note. Not a hater. No. You're a giver. Yep. Hey, I have to go to bed, but just popping on to say, have a good day. Hey, thank you.
Who's that?
Nylan Abraham.
Nolan Abraham.
Thanks for having on at all. Well, guys, I think that pretty much concludes this
Hey,
live.
before you go, has everybody subscribed to this channel?
Ooh. Yeah.
We're waiting
Do
to
it.
hear your
Gotta
response.
Do it.
Where they're not saying anything.
Got him.
We can't
Has
hear you.
everybody
Yes.
subscribe.
Remember, this is your non-essential love homework. If you love us, then we request that you subscribe to this channel
And pre-save.
and go to the video that just released,
Pre-save the
hit
link.
like, and pre-save the song
Right.
because it will help
This Friday,
this Friday.
Come
Yes.
out.
30th. or 29th at 12 p.m.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is
12 a.m.
still the next day, but
The Giver is being released on all platforms.
yes, Thursday really late if you're a night owl, which basically Friday still, because 12 would mean it's Friday. But yes, it comes out on Friday officially. So God bless all of y'all ministry.
Love
Yeah.
you.
We love you.
Thank
We
you
love
Thank
you.
you for coming and
Yes.
hanging.
Hey, and send that video. Send that video to like everybody you know.
Yep.
Share it.
All right, bye.
Good job.